Okay. Between us, we've done a few million. I might sing along on a chorus if you want me to. If you don't want me to, I won't. Bring it on?
Absolutely.
As long as I can do a scat version of all the pieces.
Does the light go on when the camera goes on?
I have absolutely no idea. I know nothing about that.
Okay.
I'm like Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing.
So the Shalom Aleichem, you do A, B, A, B, right?
I'll follow you no matter what you sing. It doesn't matter. Whatever you sing, I'll follow you. You know what I mean? It's Shalom Aleichem. That's the beat.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Is it 6 o'clock on your?
It is.
Yes.
6 o'clock. Shabbat Shalom. We welcome. We have a spirited group here. We're not commenting on numbers, and it's Rand. We appreciate you being here as well as David and all members of our congregational community, the Pechurskis. and that's right. We know for those of you who are tuning in, we understand Rand's daughter is tuning in from Massachusetts. So what's her name?
Mindy.
Hello, Mindy. Good Shabbos to you.
A singer.
And
A singer.
that's right. Is Mindy a singer?
She's a cantor.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did I? Oh, okay. This is great. All right. So anyway, Shabbat Shalom. And we know that it's been a very challenging and difficult week, that we have all watched the news and with just shock and horror at the incredible disregard for human rights and disregard for Ukrainian sovereignty. And so our hope and prayer is that that we can find gratitude for what we enjoy, appreciation for this great country, and perhaps personal determination and resolve to help in any small way that we can. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But for this moment, let's begin on page 5, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
What page are we on next?
Next, we are on page 10 for Yedid Nefesh.
Step back from the mic a little bit. Good.
I'm staying by the heater.
Here's the intro.
Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Meshoch avdecha, El ritzonecha, Meshoch avdecha, lai 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 lai, El ritzonecha, Ya'arutz avdecha, B'mo'ayal, Yishtachaveh, Malalai lai lai, El Muhad Racha, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Meshoch avdecha, El retzonecha, Meshoch avdecha, lai 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 lai, El retzonecha. I practiced. Our next prayer will be found on page 11. Lechu neranena. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai.
Lechu
Ranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, letzur yishenu, nekadma fanav betoda. Naria, Naria, letzur yishenu, bezmirot Naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Arba'im shana ikut bedor, ve'omar am to'e levav heim, ve'im lo yedu derachai, asher nishbati Vayipi im yavoun al menuchati.
Page 13.
Shiru, 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 shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru, 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 shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru, 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 shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru, 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 shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, barechu shemo basru miyom liyom yeshuato. Shiru, 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 shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru, 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 shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Twenty. 23 in your Sidur Leb Shalem prayer books, we greet Shabbat with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabla Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabla Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmi'anu el ha'yuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litila Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabla Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabla Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nehelcha Ki hi mekor habracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila
Lecha Dodi likrat kala
Penei Shabbat nekabla Lecha Dodi likrat Shabbat Penei Shabbat nekabla Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzei mitoch hafecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha V'hu yachamol alayich chemla
Lecha
Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekala Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekala Hit orri Kiva orech kumi ori Uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekala, lecha dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Would you all rise, please?
Me too?
We're pretending that Shabbat is like a big, beautiful bride. And you see her, we're pretending, look, there she is.
I see her.
Shabbat, what color dress do we imagine the Shabbat bride is?
Purple.
Purple. What do you think her dress is?
Deborah's favorite now.
Is it purple and black and white and maroon? Is it every color in the whole?
The whole spectrum. It's over the rainbow.
It's Roy G.
Roy G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
There you go. Look, the Roy G. Biv bride for Shabbat.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekala Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekala.
Page 27. You can all be seated. Boom, boom.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני.
Boom, boom.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני.
Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. We sing a song for Shabbat, Lehodot Ladonai, to give thanks to God on this Shabbat where we look and see so many challenges. It is also an opportunity for us to feel gratitude for the blessings that we have, and that we recognize that even in the 21st century, that the world continues to show uncertainty. It continues to disappoint us in profound and real ways. And at the same time, we also recognize that the world is a tremendous source of light. And so that's why we light the Shabbos candles, because as Jews, despite the darkness, we always believe in the sanctity and the endurance of light. And so we'll invite everyone to please rise as we make the bracha over our Shabbat candles, page 4.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
May the light of these candles warm our bodies as well as our souls. May the light of these candles serve as a reminder of our mission as a Jewish people to be an Or Lagoyim, a light unto the nations. And may this Shabbat, may all of the citizens of the world, particularly the citizens of the Ukraine, find peace, find hope, and find completeness and safety. And let us all say,
Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for the Baruch Hu, page 39a.
Lai la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 lai.
So Jerusalem is that way towards the cameras. So we face towards Jerusalem, our holy city, with the Baruch Hu, page 39a.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Olam ועד. המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד.
Please be seated as we continue with the first bracha, the first blessing before the Shema on page 39.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו מרים ערבים בעוצמה פותח קשרים בתבונה משנה עתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמורותיהם ברקיע כרצונו בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
Amen.
The Shema can be found on page, Ahavat Olam, page 40.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך עמך אהבת אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן על כן על כן אדוני אלוהינו ברחבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 43. Ve'emunah calls it again.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה זה אלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כיפת אדוני את יעקב וגייסו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
The evening liturgy is complemented with an additional prayer. It's a prayer for peace. It's a prayer that the rabbis added when they looked out into the world at night and they recognized the uncertainty that the world presented. And now we know that times of darkness are not just night, and that we know that insecurities are not only felt in the evening, but that the world can experience darkness in the brightest of days, that we can experience despair and loss at all times. And as we turn on our televisions and turn our eyes as we turn our eyes towards the Ukraine, and we see the crumbling of European society, our prayers and our thoughts go out to all of those who stand in harm's way. And on this Shabbat, before we add that prayer for peace, the Hashkivenu, which asks us to form a holy partnership with God in the spreading of a canopy of peace upon the world, let's think in particular of the people in the Ukraine. And here, allow me to recite a prayer that was written by the chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, Rabbi Ephraim Mervis. Sovereign of the universe, who hearkens to our prayers, we stand before you in solidarity with all who are enduring the darkness of human conflict in Ukraine. May you protect all innocent men, women, and children at this moment of great peril for them, for their country, for Europe, and for the world. Bring fortitude to the vulnerable, resilience to the insecure, and strength to those who live in fear. Incline the hearts of national leaders towards peace and reconciliation, and bless them with the wisdom, vision, and perseverance needed to end this war and restore peace to the region. Almighty God, strengthen the hands of those who pursue peace, not war. Bring harmony where there is hostility, relief where there is pain, and hope where there is pain. May God, who makes peace in high places, make peace for all on earth. May this be your will, God, and let us all say,
Amen.
Amen. The Hashivenu, our evening prayer for peace, page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך והגן בעדנו והסר מעלינו אויב דבר וחרב ורעב ויגון והסר שטן מלפנינו ומאחרינו ובצל כנפיך תסתירנו כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה כי אל שומר חנון ורחום אתה ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Please rise, Vishamru, page 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת,
Good Shabbos.
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
The Chatzi Kaddish, page 46.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמהרה הבא, מעלמא דברה חירותי בימליך מלכותי, בחיי כון וביום מכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו 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 אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי 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 דקודשה דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה, ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא, ואמרו 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 amen.
In the evening, the Amidah, which is the central piece of our prayer liturgy, is recited silently, and the traditional prayers can be found beginning on page 47 and concluding on page 53. So page 47 to page 53. So use the next few moments as a time of your own personal prayers, thoughts, and meditations. When you've completed your Amidah, you can be seated. page 52 towards the bottom of the page.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We can go straight to Kaddish Shalem there.
Okay.
We're going to continue with Kaddish Shalem on page 54.
Yitkadav yitkadav shemei rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechonim v'mekonim chayre kol beit Yisrael b'agala uzman kari v'imaru
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'alam alal me'omaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'torman v'yitnaseh v'yadar v'yadaleh v'yadalal shemei dekudesha Richu le'lamin kol birkatav v'shirata tush b'katav v'nechamata damiran be'alma v'imaru
Amen.
Titkabal tzloton v'hon d'chol Yisrael kadam v'hon d'Shemaya v'imaru
Amen.
Yehei shlam araba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru
Amen.
Ose shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru.
Amen.
Amen. I'll give a little something here. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's such a difficult time. The question is, what now? When so much seems out of our hands, when the cause seems so very dire, what do we do? Or what insights, perhaps as a rabbi, could our spiritual tradition offer us at such a trying time? So I'd like to share just two pieces, two things this week that have kind of kept me going, and I share them with the hope that perhaps they can serve the same purpose for you as well. Both are relational to where we stand in the Jewish calendar. As we know, we are celebrating Rosh Chodesh next week, and Rosh Chodesh is the beginning of the new month. And the Jewish calendar is a sort of a healthy mix of the solar and the lunar. And the way that a new month is determined is actually not by the juxtaposition, not like the Gregorian calendar, but rather by the moon. So when a new crescent moon emerges in the sky, you're in the beginning of the month. And if you think about that, it's not just a good way of marking the calendar. In antiquity, you were able to mark with certainty the beginning of the month because witnesses would look up to the sky and say, hey, the month's beginning. Look, there's a new moon. But think about that, because what immediately precedes the emergence of the new light? Complete darkness. And I think the rabbis are trying to teach us something, that before moments of light, there is darkness. And that in the midst of that darkness, we as Jews believe that light is right around the corner. So the question that I ask as we sit here undoubtedly at a time of darkness, a time of great challenge for all of humanity, is how are we going to be sources of light? There is so much, it is overwhelming, and there is only so much that any one of us can do. But the question that I ask is, how can we be sources of light? At this time of darkness, how can we help a new moon, an Or Chadash, a new light emerge in our lives, but more importantly, on this Shabbat, in the lives of all the citizens of the world? The next place that I find hope is from the Torah portion. And the Torah portion affirms for me the power of community, because it's the first Jewish fundraising effort where they actually say enough. What I mean by that is the Jews are tasked with putting together the tabernacle in the wilderness, and they've got to build a whole bunch of stuff, right? Think Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then add the whole thing. So it's a lot of materials, and a lot needs to get done, and there needs to be artisanship, but there also needs to be generosity. And their text tells us that there was such overwhelming generosity that the leaders of the community say, okay, we have enough. We don't need you to open your pockets further. The construction of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle, the generosity of the Israelites goes to show that when you gather with a united purpose, incredible blessings can emerge. When you remain united and dedicated to a cause, blessings can emerge. We as individuals can't individually change the course of a tyrant in Russia, but we can vow to help our country, to help our friends find united cause. And when we find united cause, as our ancestors did back then, we can remain dedicated to that cause. We can open up our wallets. We can pitch in. We can be sources of blessing. And we can allow for the building of something special, not just a tabernacle, not just a mishkan in the middle of the wilderness, but a holy space on this entire planet. And so my hope and prayer is this Shabbat is that as we read Parshat Vayakel, which literally means then they gathered, then they came together. My hope is that's exactly what will happen, that in response to this evil, in response to this tyranny, we as a Jewish community, but really we as a human race, Vayakel, will come together. We will remain united in purpose with a dedication to love and human freedom, and we can change the course of the world that way. Ken Yiratzon, may that be God's will, and may that be our sacred mission. And let us all say, Amen. We'll make the Kiddush on page 55. Page 55, the Kiddush, please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu V'Shabbat Kodsho באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Is that a good belt there?
It's a good year.
It's a good year. It's Manischewitz
2020.
grape juice.
1874.
It's cold.
Oh,
Yeah, it
boy.
is a little chilly. We should have given you a little hot.
Yeah.
My hands are dead.
We're going to continue with Aleinu on page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו, אין אור אמת מלכנו, אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad.
In love, we recall those who no longer walk this earth. We are grateful to God for the gift of their lives and for the cherished memories that never fade. This coming week, we as a community will observe the yahrzeit of Evelyn Cohn, Isaac Davidowitz, Dr. Charles Goldblatt, Goodman Laffer, Dora Melnick, David Rosenthal, Willie Switkus, Morris Barak, David Dubinsky, Carla Goldman, William Katz, Irv Crane, Jane Nelson, Arthur Reinhertz, Goldie Saltzman, Abi Spasia, Al Abelson, Norma Puzis, Shoshana Sherman, Ira Jonathan Simon, Susan Weir, Miriam Fingeret, Beatrice Betty Gletner, Bruce Mallon, Anna Ottenheimer, Bertha Sahlberg, Edith Shepard, Lee Dreyfus, Jeanette Gilman, Clarianne Goldring, Murray Herstick, Herman Beiner, Isidore Moss, Edward Field, and George Selig. Is there anyone else observing a yurtzeit for someone I didn't mention? Okay. We'd like to ask those of you, both here and at home, who are observing the passing of someone or the yurtzeit of someone's, if you can please rise and join me as we sanctify God's name with the words of Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bialma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomeichon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mvarach le'elam olmei olmaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudisha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel, V'imru, amen. And may the memories of our loved ones be a continuing source of blessing for us and for our communities and for the people of Israel and for the world. And let us all say, amen. Amen. We'd like to thank very much David Kaminer, who is freezing. He's I know, we're very LA here. I'm like embarrassed to be from New York. I have my winter jacket on, and I haven't taken my hands out of my pockets, and oh my gosh, it's 55 degrees out. So
55? It's not 55.
56.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, but anyway, I appreciate David Kaminer braving the inclement environs of Dad Ariel. I know it's hard on your hands, so we appreciate you being here and playing piano for us, for keyboard. And of course, we'd like to especially Yesher Koach to Rand Harris, to Cantor Mindy in Waltham, Massachusetts, who is watching and cheering on her dad, who did a beautiful job and also was so kind in getting Cantor Aronoff a well-deserved evening off to have Shabbat dinner with her family. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much, Rand. And they're conversing about a closing song. For everyone at home, just a few reminders. Tomorrow's service is at 9:30. And then also I just want to, I hope that you all got your email, in your email this afternoon, that we're very pleased to be hosting Rabbi Haley Goldstein next Shabbat. And Rabbi Goldstein is being considered for the position of Assistant Rabbi Director of Adult Engagement. And so we hope that you'll have the opportunity to spend some time with Rabbi Goldstein next Shabbat. And and there's lots of other announcements too, but you can look on our website or all the emails that we send. We only send about 4 or 5 dozen emails a week. So just read like a few of those and you should be well informed. Rand, what are we closing with this evening?
We're going to close with Yigdal on page 62.
Mitsuyan.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא ואין עת אל מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד בייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם וכל הכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפן נבואתו נתנו, אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לקם בישראל במשה עוד, נביא ומביט את אמונתו, תורת מתנתן לעמו אל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו. לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו. גומל לאיש חסד מפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרישתו. ישלח לקץ ימין משיחנו, לפתות מחכה קץ ישועתו. מתים יחייאל ברוב חסדו, ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו. מתים יחייאל ברוב חסדו, ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו.
Shkoyach, Shabbos.
Shabbos, everybody. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shkoyach. That's my favorite. You did a great job. Thank you for being here. Good. Looks like you're having some fun, which is good. There you go.
Literally, my middle finger is completely frozen.